Alright guys, so we're here going to start this walkthrough. I'm pretty sure this is Stone Players. No, this is Stone Players 1. Alright, we'll probably bump it up to Player 7 eventually. Just depends how well this playthrough actually goes. So, and as usual, keep all my videos from 20 minutes. You should be able to hopefully hear my mouse clicking, and if you do, it should be at least pretty quiet in comparison to what it originally was. In-game sounds like that I will definitely adjust because I'm using headphones that are actually plugged into my mic instead of using my wireless ones, and so it kind of offsets the difference between mic volume and headset volume, so you have to kind of adjust it. But with this one, you know, you should be able to tell where your voice is and how loud it's actually going to be, so when you have headphones plugged in, so it makes it a little more easier. And usually when with a mouse clicking one, because my mouse was broken, mouse wheel doesn't work on the original mouse that we were using, so I had to use set keys on my keyboard in order to switch my skills. But now that I have a new mouse, I don't have to worry about that, so I don't have to bother having to use my keyboard to switch my skills around. I still can, but I plan on using my mouse wheel now that I have it. So I was always looking for a mouse that's like quiet, so it's not like click 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 click, you know, to the point where you can hopefully not barely hear it at all. So the mouse is a little more on the pricier side. It was like almost like $50, but they're usually worth it for games like these, or even games like Call of Duty or Overwatch and stuff like that. It may take a little more time to get used to because you're using a rollerball mouse instead of actually using an actual hand mouse where you're moving around. So but they're usually made for games like these and games like those. So. And as for any game updates, I actually did pick up Fable 3 or Fable Anniversary or whatever the hell it was. I think it has like all three of them. We'll get to that in a moment. So stats wise, because you're going to be using a shield, you're definitely going to want high block rates. Usually if you play something like the Sorceress, if you plan to use a shield, about 75 dexterity should give you about max block rate, especially if you plan to use something like a Monarch shield. And because Monarchs tend to have that 156 strength requirement, Paladins on the other hand are a little more different because when you're doing this, as I said before, we're going to go with Vengeance, and then we're going to basically max out these our aura skills over here. Who the hell is hitting me? Sir? I'm in here in an interview, you dick. And then we're going to put the 1 point in Salvation, and after that, we're going to be focusing on putting points into Holy Shield, because Holy Shield gives you that increased block rate at the start of 14%. You're really not going to need too much points in Dexterity, just for the required weapons. And that being the instances, I'm pretty much just going to choose what the hell I can use. So health is also going to be a good thing, but because we're using an Aura of Vengeance Paladin, if we have a high enough block rate, health shouldn't really be too much of a problem. You may hear the birds outside, so I do apologize. But we're going to work on most on our... I'm going to start with maybe 1 point in Dexterity, and we're going to start putting points into our health, and then we're on like level 10, we'll switch it up. So we'll have at least somewhat have a high, low, medium to decent Dexterity to at least be able to use some weapons. So like scimitars, stuff like that, which require, I think it's like 25 Dexterity in order to use. So I hate the goddamn blue jays around here. It's so damn annoying. Like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, they're just chirping away. It's like, if I wanted a goddamn rooster, I get a rooster. No, we have birds. But this will be the new playthrough. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it around, because you will not get a video on Wednesday because I will be going out of town. So I'm going to switch it to where Mondays and Tuesdays will be the Diablo 2 playthrough, and Wednesdays will be the movie trailer action. I might try to get a movie trailer action when I get back into town. Just depends how late, because I'm going early in the morning, but I usually will get back to like later afternoon to like close to dinner time. So we'll try to get a trailer reaction if we can, but I make no promises. And as usual, most of my videos, you'll see them sometime around later in the afternoon or dinner time. So, and you may hear my family in the background, so I do apologize. It's one thing about Yeti mics, they tend to pick up everything. and have my fans off because it's actually being a lot colder around here. Still sunny as hell, but it's getting colder at night, so. I'll make sure I pick up any items too. Oh, besides charms. And can use charms, so they have resistances and sort of crap like that. But if I plan to sell charms, you know, I'm not allowed to, so. And as you can see, the drop rate for gold is extremely low when you have nothing to give it to you. Eventually I'll be setting up some gear. I think I'm just going to strip all my old characters, the ones that we've already did our walkthroughs of, and just stick them onto my shared chest. So there's still a few pieces that I'm missing for some of my characters, like my Amazon. I'm missing, I think it's Vina's diadem, and I think it's the claws for Natalia's set for my assassin. So, that's a potion now. It's a regeneration potion. I'm not going to sell it, but I will use it. Trying to think what the hell else I was going to say. I can't think of it. We're not getting Holy Fire to level 6 anyway, so I mean, you could put points in Smite if you really want to get some form of combat, but if you're not playing like Pluggy like me, then I highly recommend you just save your points until that point, because Pluggy allows me to reset my skills and stats. So, and unlike, pretty sure unlike a regular Diablo 2 and Diablo 2 Remastered, you cannot do that unless you actually beat the Den of Evil, and that's just a complete waste unless you're 100% sure you're gonna stick to a certain combat style. So unless they changed that in Diablo 2 Remastered, they did a lot of things for. But that game apparently runs more heavier than goddamn Diablo 3 does. So it's just like, no thank you. Like decent amount of experience, but boots. We got like 10 minutes left. So let's knock out the Den of Evil. So you'll actually see this video and for the gameplay wise, but the very first video I'll be dropping is explaining our challenge run. So that'll be the first video that's going to come out, and then this video. So yes, it does. And I'm pretty happy to. Some of my Diablo 2 videos be getting like 30 or 40 views, which doesn't sound like a lot, but as a small channel as mine, that's actually quite a bit. So thank you very much for people who watch my videos. Apologize there. Carpal tunnel has been kicking my ass this weekend. Been a long ass weekend. It's like Saturday was a pain in my ass. It's like just opened and bam, we get hit with a party of 28 people, and it's like, what the hell? That's not something you want to go to work and to find out. By the way, 28 people are coming in. Good luck. That's where auras, like an Orden, comes in really handy, because with like Zeal, you have to get up close. Hammerdens, there's like a certain distance, so like maybe within like this range of hammers. With Ordens, it's based on yards, so even enemies off screen to a certain distance can actually be affected by your auras, and great for clearing out rooms and like that, because you don't have to worry about getting too close. You don't have to worry about mana being another thing with Hammerdens, especially in the beginning of the game, because hammers are based on faster cast rate. And they also will take quite a bit of mana too. And they don't hit very hard at the beginning of the game. It's like maybe 12 to 15 damage per hammer. That's not a lot. And when you're hitting for maybe 12, 15 damage and say mana takes like 10 mana to just use one time, and you're limited to say maybe 50 mana, it not really worth it until later on in the game. You can actually get strong hammers like that, so, or you have some form of magic regeneration. Paladins usually tend to, what about you at the moment, are going to be based around mace classes, so like scepters. Druids are going to be based around like your more mace-esque type flails, so like clubs and stuff like that. Of course, you know, assassins are going to be based around claws and stuff like that. Claws and daggers, actually. And then you have the Amazons based around your bows and your javelins, and then you have your sorcerers and her orbs and staves, or staves, how you pronounce it, depending, you know, where you live. Necromancer usually can be based around wands. He can be based around daggers if you plan to make a poison necromancer, which is almost never made, considering that it's only made really for PvP than anything else. And barbarian, use all weapon classes except for the ones that he's not allowed to use, so like orbs and assassin claws. However, there is a rune word that does allow you to use some form of assassin skill. I don't know what the hell it's called. I think it's chaos, and it allows you to use some form of an assassin skill. I don't remember what the hell it is. My foot is like going up. That's annoying. Let's clear these boys. Yeah, we got like 5 minutes left, so this is definitely for like the very beginning video for Diablo. But once we get Holy Fire, I mean, it's going to be pretty much game over. Almost no enemies can be able to really stand against us. Well, no low-level enemy. I mean, higher-level enemies like the Countess and Blood Raven, the Smith may be a different story, since they're all demons and they tend to have higher fire resistance. Which is ironic because Andariel is a poison demon from hell who's weak to fire. Alright, let's see here. My keyboard. Stamina's running low. We don't know how to hear that stupid saying, and you hear it from like in the Diablo one, it's like no mana, or in certain games you hear it's like I'm out of stamina, and you constantly hear that as you're trying to, like, you know, track someone down in a game or some crap like that. It's like really goddamn annoying. Are you throwing hands, buddy? Well, you brought hands, I brought a sword. I think I win this one. Good old corpse fire. What are you dropping me, buddy? Anything good? Ooh, a rare ring and a rare pair of gloves. Sir, you heard about our gold run? That's so nice of you. Vengeance shouldn't really take that much mana, only 4. And that's like half of her zeal. The only character that you really ever want to put mana into is actually technically only maybe, well, there's quite a bit of them actually. Say any of the spellcasters really, but we only have 96 and we can't sell. Shit. This is kind of like doing a Dark Souls no bonfire, no death run. And let me tell you, that's a whole different story. I'd probably say the Sorceress be the only one that you really ever want to put in points in mana, and that's if you're using an energy shield Sorceress. You know, where it'll basically take damage out of your mana instead of your health. But not really any characters I can really think of you're really forcibly going to have to use to put points into your mana. Unless it's going to be like a really heavy draining skill, and you know for a fact that you're not going to use points into your strength and dexterity. So we can identify shit, but we can't sell it. Yeah. How much much is a scroll? 80? Oh god, this is gonna be a pain in my ass. I'm identify the gloves. 1 strength, 5. Actually, decent gloves. Alright, that works. So now we gotta find and identify scrolls and crap like that. We have like 2.5 minutes left. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Yeah, it's like if you've never played games like Dark Souls, don't ever, because those are the type of games that will really make you rage. And if you're the type of person that's bound to break controllers, Dark Souls is not a game for you. But back in the day, they had hidden achievements. So one of them was a no bonfire, no death run, and we all know what that no death run means. Just don't die. And the no bonfire one was basically, it allows you to teleport around different areas in the game. Well, one of the hidden achievements was no death. I cannot speak words. No bonfire, no death run. And if you used a bonfire, it basically would reset the achievement. And so you had to literally go through the entire goddamn game without being able to teleport around. And it's not... Oh, there's a scroll. That difficult, but because your mind is so triggered in order to actually use bonfires, it'll basically reset your health, but it also resets enemies. You're so fixated to actually, and so used to using bonfires for that, you would automatically just do it, and then you totally screw it all up, and you have to restart the entire game all over again. And I think I beat that in like 5.5 hours for a non-bonfire run. It took multiple times because I was so used to just sitting at the goddamn bonfire. Where's that ring at? 10 tag ring. Yeah, we're getting the resistances. I'll definitely take that. What are we looking at here? Alright, that works. Yeah, I think I beat it like 5.5 hours. And that was a kind of a chore. And then it was like, you can do it at the same time. You can do no death and not bonfire at the same time. I chose to do it separately because you actually get rings. And this is for Dark Souls 2 when they first started it. I don't know if Dark Souls 1 has anything like that. But it gave you certain rings. And I got them both. And then my no death run took me like 7.5 hours. I think the world record's like 2 for each one of them. Something like that. But I was proud of myself. Let me tell you, not dying on Dark Souls, not easy. Because I love Dark Souls 2, and it's one of the ones out of all this Dark Souls games, out of Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 3, it actually gets the most hate because people find it to be the most easiest. And it was like too slow for people. And that's my timer. We'll pick up the story in the next video. But so like I said, this is going to be more of a challenge run than ever. So stay tuned for the next video. Like I said, you guys will see sometime later in the afternoon or around dinner time. And all Diablo 2 videos will be switched over to Monday and Tuesday. So, and stay safe, healthy sanitize, make sure to like, subscribe, leave comments below, and I'll make sure not to leave you on a cliffhanger. I'll see you guys.